Throughout our lives, whether we realize it or not, we dream almost every night. While our eyes are closed, our minds construct entirely different worlds. Familiar faces, strange events, scenes where time and space bend illogically, all come to life within our minds. Yet when we wake in the morning, we often dismiss this extraordinary experience as an ordinary detail. Dreaming has become as natural a routine as brushing our teeth. However, this seemingly ordinary state we experience nightly remains one of humanity's greatest unexplained mysteries. Science, psychology, mysticism, every field has attempted to understand dreams, but none have succeeded in unraveling all their secrets. Dreams remain an unknown hidden in the shadows of our minds. Sometimes a sign, sometimes a reflection, sometimes just a silent language the soul speaks. And every morning, we wake up forgetting this silent language. Has this ever happened to you? While doing something, encountering an event, or going somewhere, you pause and say, I remember this moment from somewhere before. But you can't recall when you experienced it, because in that moment, you're experiencing déjà vu. In déjà vu, you don't know what you've seen. You only feel a sense of familiarity. Other times, you distinctly remember experiencing that scene in a dream before, because this is a dream recurrence, a forgotten moment etched into your subconscious. In French, this is called déjà rêvé, already dreamed. Some scientists call it a dream trace. The mind recognizes a scene it saw years ago, now reappearing in present reality. Some believe dreams are a form of time travel. You saw that moment before it happened, and now you're passing through it. Remember the story of Prophet Joseph interpreting the Pharaoh's dream. That dream foretold coming years of abundance followed by famine. Proof that dreams can be more than mere reflections of our imagination, but even messages about the future. Others think dreams are a gateway to parallel universes. Don't consider this just an imagination-based idea, because even in science, the multiverse theory is currently a serious alternative to physical reality. Perhaps when you sleep, your mind transitions into one of these parallel versions. Like a radio frequency, another channel briefly opens. You experience that moment in your dream. But the strange thing is, nothing feels strange at all. Everything seems perfectly normal, as if you've been there for years. As one of humanity's oldest mysteries, dreams have shaped both the inner worlds of individuals and the collective imagination of civilizations. From ancient times to today, dreams weren't just nightly images. They were seen as messages from gods, doors to the unknown, and profound parts of humanity's journey of self-discovery. The earliest written dream records appear on Sumerian tablets. Around 3000 BC, people in Mesopotamia interpreted dreams as messages about the future. In King Gidea's dream, a god told him to build a temple. Upon waking, he accepted this command as an order and constructed the temple. Dreams weren't just personal, they guided public actions. A dreamer could influence a society's destiny. In ancient Egypt, dreams were considered a sacred way to communicate with gods. Egyptians wrote special texts to interpret dreams, creating dream books. These books contain meanings for specific symbols. For example, seeing a crocodile meant an enemy, while walking in a river symbolized protection. Dream interpretation became a profession. Temples had priests consulted about dreams. Egypt had a tradition called temple sleep. People would sleep in temples to receive divine messages, share their dreams with priests, who would then interpret them. In ancient Greece, dreams were where the boundary between the divine and humans thinned. In Homer's Iliad, gods guided heroes through dreams. Dreams were considered siblings to prophecy. By Hippocrates' time, dreams began to be seen not just as metaphysical, but connected to physical and mental health. Patients in healing temples would seek cures from gods through dreams. People sleeping in dream chambers would record their morning dreams, and priest doctors would use them as diagnostic tools. This practice was one of the first systems where dreams were evaluated as a form of treatment method. By the Middle Ages, dreams took on a much darker and controlled meaning. Christianity divided dreams into two: divine dreams and demonic dreams. The church argued that not all dreams came from God, so were sent by the devil to lead people astray. During this period, openly discussing dreams, especially being unable to interpret them, could label someone as prone to sin or connected to demons. Some saints, however, claimed to speak with God through dreams. Dreams were considered a form of revelation, but these interpretations were only attributed to chosen individuals. In the 4th century AD, 2 monks from Athens had the same dream. In their dreams, the Virgin Mary showed them a place in the steep cliffs of the Black Sea and told them to build a monastery there in her name. These 2 monks were unaware of each other, but when they realized they'd had the same dream, they accepted it as a divine call. The place in the dream wasn't an ordinary mountain. From above, it seemed to converse with the void, while from below, it appeared as an unreachable silence. They met, set out on their journey, and eventually found that rocky slope. At 1,200 meters altitude in what is now Makkah district, Trabzon, legend says the monks chose Trabzon, not because they knew the region, but because the place shown in the dream divinely guided them there. When the monks found the spot, they recognized it from their dreams and built the Sumala Monastery there. The monastery's grand structure visible today was largely constructed during the Ottoman period. Centuries later, dreams began to be seen, not as divine guidance, but as creations emerging from the depths of the human mind, shifting them from sacred mountains to the tables of art and science. With the Renaissance, thought systems gradually shifted, human reason was exalted again, and dreams became tools for exploring inner worlds. Artists and philosophers saw dreams as sources of inspiration. Geniuses like Leonardo da Vinci noted images they saw in dreams. Dreams were no longer divine messages, but products of human mental power. However, dreams were first scientifically grounded in the early 20th century. Sigmund Freud, in his 1899 work The Interpretation of Dreams, proposed that dreams weren't divine messages, but reflections of repressed desires and unconscious impulses. According to Freud, dreams are expressions of censored desires through symbols. Every figure in a dream holds clues about the dreamer's subconscious. A dream isn't just what I saw, but gains meaning through why I saw it. By the mid-20th century, as scientific methods advanced, brain research on dreams accelerated. The 1953 discovery of REM sleep revealed dreams had a physiological basis. In the rapid eye movement REM stage, the brain is highly active. Muscles are temporarily paralyzed, and most dreaming occurs. Dreams were no longer just inner visuals seeking meaning, but also neurological phenomena. Though difficult to quantify, scientists found many brain regions work harder during dreaming than when we're awake. Yet these scientific developments haven't solved dreams' mysteries, only brought us closer to understanding their structure. The most chilling layer of dreams emerges when we lose control, sometimes even unable to wake up. Unwakeable dreams aren't just nightmares, they're states of consciousness, where one is aware but trapped. These experiences are sometimes confused with sleep paralysis, night terrors, but they're much deeper, because here the person isn't just immobile, they're imprisoned in another reality. In such dreams, time doesn't flow, space doesn't change, and sometimes a single image, a door, a figure, a room's corner, repeats endlessly. Some people describe screaming, slapping themselves, or biting their hands to wake up in these cyclical dreams, but the body doesn't respond. Parallel reality theories explain such dreams as frequency shifts, where one's consciousness briefly transitions to another plane. Not everyone experiences this, because this transition requires a certain clarity of consciousness or mental flexibility. This occurs not just through intuition or knowledge, but a kind of sensitivity. Ancient communities called this soul travel. Modern science still struggles to name it. Sleep paralysis, night terrors, is a state where one is stuck between sleep and wakefulness. This occurs especially during abrupt awakenings from REM sleep. In REM sleep, muscles are naturally in temporary paralysis because the brain prevents us from physically acting out dream movements. But sometimes the mind wakes up while the muscular system remains offline, and that's when sleep paralysis occurs. Sleepwalking, meanwhile, operates almost opposite to sleep paralysis. This raises a question. If we're temporarily paralyzed in REM sleep, how could we toss and turn in bed? Sleep isn't a single state. It occurs in cycles. Each night, our brains transition continuously between NREM light and deep sleep and REM dreaming and paralysis stages in roughly 90-minute cycles. Our bodies usually move during NREM stages while falling asleep, entering deep sleep, or transitioning out of it. But the human mind isn't confined to the body's limits. Even in moments of physical paralysis, like sleep paralysis, some consciousnesses can connect. The idea of communicating through dreams might sound like science fiction, but documented cases worldwide over centuries lift this idea beyond mere fantasy. These are called telepathic dreams, and they may hold the most startling clues about how human minds can touch one another. What's common in telepathic dream experiences isn't just two people having similar dreams the same night. Sometimes one person sees another in a dream, while that other person simultaneously feels an inexplicable unease, a forgotten sensation, or a half-dream. There are thousands of examples, like a mother dreaming of her son's accident, waking up and learning a rail accident occurred at that exact hour. This can be explained by just family bonds. Some dreamers see strangers in dreams, only to meet them for the first time the next day. When humans sleep, they don't just rest their bodies. They engage their brains, hormones, and even spiritual balance in a repair process. Sleep isn't shutting down, but an intense recovery and restructuring process unfolding behind the scenes. The body appears motionless, but inside, muscles repair themselves. The immune system activates, heart rate and breathing slow to conserve energy, and hormones are secreted. All this repairs physical fatigue. But the greatest miracle happens in the brain. Information, stress, images accumulated all day, all are sorted during sleep. Unnecessary ones are deleted, while important ones are transferred to memory. This is why after good sleep, our minds feel clearer, and our decision-making and focus improve. In deep sleep, the brain rests. In REM sleep, it confronts emotions through dreams, unloading subconscious burdens. So sleep doesn't just relieve the body. It lightens emotions and mental loads. Humans don't rest just by sleeping. They rest by inwardly reconstructing themselves during sleep. During this deep repair, the mind sets its stage, and dreams begin unnoticed. A dream might feel like it lasted hours, but in reality, it's just minutes of unconscious time travel. So within time, you experience another accelerated time. In this case, dreaming means briefly existing in another time layer. Religiously, dreams are divided into three: divine Ramani, satanic Shaitani, and ego-driven Nafsani. Righteous dreams are glad tidings from God, while nightmares stemming from Satan bring fear and unease. Some dreams reflect fragments of waking life. In Sufism, the soul knows no boundaries. It isn't bound by the body. Sleep is when the soul's bond with the body is weakest, allowing it to ascend to Barzakh, the liminal realm between dimensions. In this passage, the soul sometimes senses vibrations of other consciousnesses, merges with them, and may receive images as of experiencing another's life. What you assume is your dream might actually be another's spiritual experience. Your soul may have accompanied that moment, forming a connection with that person or people. This is why many don't see themselves in dreams. They're either accompanying another's consciousness, or perceiving without a body in pure consciousness. In this state, the self fades. The person feels not just the images, but the emotions, as if watching a movie from within. But perhaps that person isn't really them. Perhaps when humans sleep, with their brains completely still, their energy can travel between realms, visiting distant places in dream minutes. Suggests this experience isn't just mental, but a spiritual journey. This implies dreams may be dimensional gateways to the realm of spirits, unknowingly entering another's body. To experience an event might make one think they lived it. Perhaps in the dream realm, connections between people aren't limited to humans. Maybe we become observers of lives in other realms. But which realm one enters depends on their piety. Perhaps dreams are hidden messages urging us to shape our lives. The dream realm is a world only the living can see. The deceased continue living in other realms. Dreams allow us to visit their world, see or speak with them. So in truth, we become visitors. Science defines such dreams as natural extensions of grief, the mind trying to process loss. But when years pass, all pain fades, and that person suddenly appears in your dream one night. This is neither grief nor a memory game. Perhaps an unexpected call from another realm has shifted us into a dimension connecting us to them. But the key point here is the Creator's permission enabling this connection. Lucid dreaming, where one gains awareness and directs dreams, turns dreams from passive experiences into active fields of consciousness. When someone attempts this, demonic entities eagerly fulfill the wish, but distorted and altered. This makes lucid dreaming highly dangerous as it transitions people into demonic dimensions. In this state, what you see is entirely under demonic control, steering you toward their desired beliefs. The person becomes fully claimed by demonic entities, serving them unknowingly, spreading their influence unwittingly. Perhaps dreams are far more than we think, not just nightly plays of images, but the quietest inspirations heard, on the bridge between consciousness and the unconscious. Until the next video.